When Mars burns too fiercely, victory becomes ego. And when Jupiter appears, life begins asking harder questions. One accident, and everything he believed collapses. Because sometimes, losing is what awakens the real warrior. Andrew is one of the brightest gymnasts in his college. Inside the practice court, he laughed confidently with his teammates, showing off difficult moves as if they were effortless. With a playful arrogance, he told his friends that he was already among the best, and everyone would soon know his name. At that moment, Sun and Mars energy flickered over him. The Sun feeding his pride and sense of superiority, while Mars burned strong and fiery, pushing his confidence even higher. His friends cheered, yet some quietly felt his pride was growing too fast. Later that night, Andrew returned home exhausted but strangely restless. Sleep refused to come, and when it finally did, it brought disturbing dreams. He suddenly woke up, breathing heavily, his heart racing in the darkness. The room was silent, yet his mind refused to calm down. He sat up, confused, wondering why someone who had everything going right still felt so unsettled inside. Unable to sleep again, he stood up, feeling an urge to step outside, unaware that his life was about to change. Unable to fall asleep, Andrew went for a late-night run and stopped at a small mart nearby, hoping food might calm his mind. Inside, he noticed an old man working at the counter, quietly staring at him. The gaze felt uncomfortable, and Andrew finally asked why he was being watched. The old man calmly replied that Andrew looked like someone searching for something deeper. Andrew brushed it off, saying he simply couldn't sleep and came for a snack. The old man smiled and said softly, "That happens when you are not living in the present." As he spoke, Jupiter energy flickered, calm and wise. Andrew felt irritated by the strange comment. He grabbed his food and walked away quickly, and Mars flickered again, showing his rising frustration. Yet as he ran back home, the words echoed in his mind. Why did a stranger understand his restlessness so easily? Something about the encounter stayed with him longer than he expected. The next day, Andrew returned to practice, but something felt off inside him. During training, a small disagreement with his close friend suddenly turned into a heated argument. Andrew lost his temper and shouted louder than needed, surprising everyone around him. His friend, instead of getting angry, looked concerned and later pulled him aside, asking gently what was going on. Andrew hesitated, then admitted he had met a strange old man the previous night who spoke in ways he couldn't understand. His friend laughed lightly, but sensed Andrew was carrying something heavier inside. As practice continued, Andrew struggled to focus, his confidence feeling shaky for the first time. He kept replaying the old man's words in his mind, wondering why they bothered him so much. Even while performing perfectly, he felt distracted, as if something deeper in his life demanded attention, though he didn't yet know what it was. That night, Andrew found himself returning to the same mart, hoping to find the old man again. Christopher was there, calm as before. Andrew asked many questions: who he was, where he came from, and why he spoke so strangely. Christopher smiled and said Andrew kept asking questions about him instead of asking the one question about himself that truly mattered. As he spoke, Jupiter flickered again, bringing quiet wisdom into the moment. Andrew quickly disagreed, claiming he was simply curious. Christopher then said Andrew's ego stopped him from admitting the truth and that it needed to change. Before Andrew could argue further, Christopher told him to go home and meet him near the college before practice someday. At that moment, a girl around his age entered the store. Andrew noticed her calm presence and instinctively watched her as she walked away, feeling oddly drawn but also confused. He left the store feeling even more confused. The next morning, Andrew jogged across campus and unexpectedly saw the same girl walking ahead. Curious, he approached her and casually tried to start a conversation, even flirting slightly. She simply smiled and continued walking. Frustrated, Andrew asked why she wouldn't answer his questions. She turned briefly and said softly that he should prepare for what was coming instead of focusing on the things that didn't matter much in life. As she spoke, moon energy flickered on her, calm and intuitive. Andrew stood confused, watching her walk away. Why was everyone suddenly speaking in puzzles? He continued jogging, but couldn't stop thinking about these encounters. Talking to himself, he wondered why he kept meeting such strange people and why his life suddenly felt uncertain. Everything had been simple before. Practice, competitions, victories. Now confusion followed him everywhere. For the first time, Andrew felt unsure about where his life was actually heading. Later that day, Andrew drove toward practice with loud music playing, excitement rushing through him. Speed always thrilled him, and as confidence returned, Mars energy flickered strongly, pushing his boldness further. Lost in the moment, he jumped a red signal without noticing an approaching car. Suddenly, everything crashed. Darkness followed. Andrew woke up in a hospital room, pain spreading through his body. His friend stood beside him, and the same mysterious girl was there too. But Andrew's eyes searched only for Christopher. A doctor soon entered and explained that his injuries might prevent him from returning to gymnastics. The words shattered him. Gymnastics was his identity, his future, his pride. Now it was slipping away. Andrew felt broken, his fiery Mars energy crushed under reality. For the first time, he realized strength alone could not control life's outcomes, and fear quietly replaced his former confidence. After recovering enough to walk again, Andrew visited Christopher's store. This time his voice carried no arrogance. He simply said he was ready to listen. Christopher nodded calmly and told him his real training would begin the next day. Confused, Andrew asked what they would train for now. Christopher replied that Andrew needed to learn there was life beyond competitions and victories. Then Christopher asked gently, "Will winning truly make you happy? And what if it doesn't?" As he spoke, Jupiter flickered once more, filling the moment with quiet truth. Andrew froze. For the first time, he had no answer. Winning had always been his only goal, but now he wasn't sure anymore. That day marked the beginning of a different journey. Instead of training muscles, Andrew began training his mind, slowly learning patience, acceptance, and understanding that success without peace meant very little. 6 months later, Andrew stood once again inside the competition arena with his teammates. His friend confidently told him he would win and make everyone proud. But Andrew remembered Christopher's question. What if victory didn't bring happiness? As that memory returned, Jupiter flickered within him, reminding him of everything he had learned. Andrew quietly walked toward the stadium entrance and looked at the massive crowd waiting outside. Once, This moment would have filled him with pressure and desire to prove himself. Now something felt lighter. He smiled softly and whispered to himself that his happiness no longer depended on winning this competition. For the first time, he felt free from fear of losing. Far away, inside the quiet mart, Christopher smiled knowingly, sensing Andrew had understood the lesson. Victory or defeat no longer controlled him. Andrew was finally ready to live fully in the present moment, whatever the result might be.